On July 8, 2014, German tourist Lars Mittank would disappear in Varna, Bulgaria. Before he vanished, an enigmatic series of events would take place on what was supposed to be a relaxing vacation with friends. What happened on his trip to Varna would eventually lead to Lars becoming known as the world's most famous missing tourist. Let's set the scene. Lars Joachim Mittank was born in Berlin, Germany, and lived nearby his entire life. He was known to have many friends, as well as a girlfriend and a good relationship with his family. Working at a local power plant, he held a steady job and would eventually help his parents after work after his father suffered a stroke. All in all, Lars was described as a normal person. On June 30th, 2014, Lars left for Varna, Bulgaria with 5 of his friends. Their trip would mark the first time he traveled outside of Germany. After they arrived, the group's vacation started as they checked into Golden Sands Resort, just outside the city of Varna. It was shaping up to be a great week, with plenty of fun and much needed relaxation. Nothing at all was amiss throughout most of their trip. The week went by really fast. We relaxed on the beach, swam in the pool, played football, went clubbing. Lars was relaxed. He was in a good mood. Another friend of theirs, Tim Schultz, said that Lars wasn't eating much throughout their stay. He explained that he would only eat a small bowl of soup or salad here and there, but he otherwise seemed to be acting normal and happy. It wasn't until the night before the group was slated to fly home that things would take a turn. On July 6, 2014, the group went about their day until deciding to visit a bar in town. While enjoying some drinks after a long day, the group would begin to interact with some other German nationals and ended up discussing football. Lars was a fan of the German sports club Werder Bremen, and after one too many drinks, he eventually came to a disagreement with these men, who were fans of another club, Bayern Munich. As innocent as that sounds, something wasn't right. While not much is known about the argument that ensued, it definitely seemed to frustrate Lars long after it was over. Outside of a restaurant after leaving the bar, Lars would part ways from his friends and wandered into the night. The next morning, Lars would return to the resort in distress. He went on to tell his friends that he was followed and beaten up by 4 men hired by the German nationals from the bar. While no one can definitively confirm this, he suffered an injured jaw and ruptured eardrum as a result of whatever happened earlier that night. This is where things get interesting, and a lot more unsettling. After his friends convinced him to see a doctor, Lars was treated for his injuries and prescribed the antibiotic cefprozil. He was also advised not to fly due to his ruptured eardrum, so he wasn't able to leave with his friends that day. As any good friends would, they offered to stay with him until he was able to fly, but Lars ultimately convinced them he was fine on his own and to proceed with the original travel plan. This would be the last time they ever saw him. After his friends departed, Lars checked into Hotel Color in Varna. It was cheap and conveniently close to the airport. Soon after he began his rest at the new hotel, he started acting strange. That night, he called his mother and whispered that he was being followed by people trying to kill or rob him. He asked her to cancel his credit cards and quickly ended the call. CCTV cameras captured Lars pacing up and down the halls of the hotel, looking out windows and hiding in an elevator. Interestingly, he was seen leaving the hotel at around 1 a.m., only to return 1 hour later. He presumably stayed up all night, as first thing in the morning, he called his mother again to tell her the people following him were getting closer. It was now July 8th, 2014, the day Lars was hoping to fly home to Germany. He texted his mother after arriving at the airport and prepared to consult with the doctor. However, he would never board his flight after leaving the clinic. Let's take a look. This would be the last time Lars Mittank was ever seen. Let's take a step back. If you were perplexed by this airport security footage, you're not alone. As you may have guessed by now, Lars Mittank was tragically never found. This video, along with first-hand accounts, were all authorities had to go off of when investigating his disappearance. Unfortunately, making sense of the video would only make things more cloudy. Authorities were able to get in touch with the airport doctor, a man named Kosta Kostov. Dr. Kostov described Lars as nervous and erratic, and said he was hesitant to leave his office even after he cleared him to fly home. He went on to say that Lars expressed doubt about the medication he was previously prescribed. Soon after, a construction worker entered the office, as the airport was being renovated at the time. Lars began to tremble and shouted, "I don't want to die here. I have to get out of here." He then got up and sprinted from the airport, leaving all of his belongings behind as he ran into the wilderness. The security footage showing him entering the forest near Bulgaria National Highway A2 are his last confirmed whereabouts. So, why did Lars flee from the airport? The most common and plausible theory actually did revolve around the medication he was prescribed for his injuries, cefprozil. This antibiotic has been known to cause rare psychotic side effects, including extreme paranoia. This was a great lead, and the theory Lars's mother supported. However, there was a major issue with this theory. Dr. Kostov would report that Lars wasn't taking his medication. In fact, he never even had the prescription filled. This made even less sense because, as you'll remember, Dr. Kostov's original statement described Lars as being doubtful of his medication. Lars's mother said he had no history of mental illness, so that couldn't have caused his paranoia. She was certain that something just wasn't right. After months went by without a lead, she would hire a private investigator to find Lars, but he ultimately wasn't able to turn anything up. As you'd expect, this mystery is just filled with conspiracy theories. The comment section on the official Find Lars Mittank YouTube channel is a rabbit hole in itself, so I would start there if you want to read any of them. The mystery of Lars Mittank's disappearance still lingers and has bothered me ever since I first heard about it back in 2015. It seems so solvable, yet a few crucial pieces are just missing. Today, onlookers still wonder about the bar fight, the medication, and the construction worker at the airport, and rightfully so. Even though multiple truck drivers around Bulgaria have reported seeing Lars and even giving him a ride, nothing has turned up. I sincerely hope that one day soon, his family can finally find some closure.